Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm V.H.S. Today we're going to be talking about Oppenheimer, obviously. What can I say about this? This movie was a breath of fresh air, honestly, to me. This is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, especially in the theaters. This is no, I don't want to cry masterpiece quite yet. It was really good, guys. It was really good, but I'm not going to cry masterpiece just yet. Let's see, there's still a lot of time left in this year, so I'm not going to come out and say it's by far the best movie I've seen this year, but I'm not going to come out and say it's the best movie of the year. So, or maybe it is. We'll see. But anyway, it's Chris Nolan. I'm not extremely familiar with this guy's work, but I have seen Dunkirk. I love war movies. I honestly wasn't a huge fan of Dunkirk, but he does a lot of his little flashbacky things like he does here in Dunkirk, but to me, it worked a lot better in Oppenheimer than in Dunkirk. And as for me not liking Dunkirk, that's a review for another time, another day, I'll get to it. But yeah, this movie had an incredible star-studded cast that I was kind of blown away. I couldn't believe, they just kept coming, oh, he's in it, Rami Malek, Josh Peck, oh my God, whoa, that was cool. It's a very dialogue-heavy movie, very dialogue-heavy. 3 hours, pretty much of dialogue. Little action, little to no action. Little sex, you get some nipples, that's cool, but a lot of dialogue, which is fine with me, but this is not going to be for everybody. If you're not into the talkies, you're really not going to like this movie. It's a marathon, and I did the Barbenheimer thing, so it was rough, and I love movies, especially historical period pieces, so, and it was not going to lie, it was a tough sit through. I mean, just physically, the only thing that kept me there was the movie itself. I really was into the movie. If it wasn't for such a great movie, I could not have sat through that. But Christopher Nolan did a really good job of kind of grabbing you and keeping you for that entirety of that 3 hours, even with some pretty, monotone, boring dialogue, so to speak. But he did so good visually. Everybody in this film, the actors, everybody just did such a good job pulling you into the story, making you kind of feel like, you're not part of it. You're in it, you're in Oppenheimer's mind, which brings me to, Cillian Murphy's performance, which obviously was brilliant. Dare I say Oscar worthy? I don't know. I'm not one to speak, or I'm not one to say. But he really does encapsulate the emotions of Oppenheimer, I think, especially towards the end there at that speech where he sees the charred body on the floor, the guy puking, the couple crying, the emotion that scene was so well put together. You feel what they're all feeling. You feel that they know what they have done is something so incredible, so groundbreaking, so huge in the world of science and the world of mankind in general. But it's awful. It's terrible. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened at the same time. They killed thousands or millions. I don't know the exact number. So it was just such a well done scene. And they all did so well. Cillian, the other actors, the director, the direction, it was just great. Not to mention this scene when they do the testing, which brings me to Josh Peck. I kind of forgot he was in this movie till this scene, and I'm like, wow, he's come a long way from being a male firefighter stripper on the Amanda Show to being the, who did he play? Oh, I didn't write it down, but playing one of the scientists that worked on the Manhattan Project and the guy who gets to press the big red button. So good for him. So that was great, but okay, so back to that scene, the silence when they press the button. It's dead silent. And you're kind of left sitting there like, did the audio just cut out or what? And then the light, and the sound just kind of boom, like, and in the different people's reactions, the way Oppenheimer was kind of just taking it all in. The beauty, not the beauty, like this, the awful beauty, so to speak, of what they have created. It worked. He was, blown away. They were all blown away. But that scene, just the build up, and it's honestly kind of the best, most exciting part of the movie. I don't want to say it's definitely, I wouldn't say the climax, but it was definitely the most action packed part of the movie, where you're literally on the edge of your seat. And I just thought that scene was, again, just very well put together. Most of the movie was, and the fact that they did it with no CGI is something that I love, because not enough filmmakers are doing that these days, And again, it shows that this shows that people can come to a movie, sit for 3 hours, as long as it's a good fucking story. Good, visually told fucking story. You know what I'm saying? We're sick. I'm personally, I'm not into the big Marvel. I'm not a big Marvel guy, guys. So, I can take those Marvel movies, take them or leave them, in my opinion. I'm going to review them eventually, sure. But the same thing with these Disney remakes. I'm a Disney kid. I love Disney movies. These remakes aren't doing it for me. And I'm going to go see them. But my point is, this movie is what we needed in cinema right now. Nobody's made such a captivating, interesting story in, at least not the last 5 years anyway, in my opinion. Part of it's me being a history nerd anyway. I love history. I didn't know a lot of the history behind this, so that the whole Strauss kind of, who done it, who was the who was the whistleblower, who was the one who leaked this information to the Russians, or that whole spiel, and then Strauss being sore at Oppenheimer about the Einstein thing, where we build up to that last moment with Einstein, and that moment with Oppenheimer and Einstein, what they were talking about, and how they were talking about how the math was, there was a chance that they could blow the entire universe. The build up to that was also just brilliantly done, because you're left sitting there like, what did he say? What did he say? But come to find out, it was just them talking about that math problem, which was a good build up. And back to Strauss though, Robert Downey Jr. I think he did great. I'm not a big Marvel guy, so I haven't seen a lot of that, but I've seen Tropic Thunder, some a lot of his Heart and Soul, or what's that movie with the ghost, the ghosts that follow him? It's Heart and Soul, right? Anyway, that's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm gonna do a review for that. Anyway, it's a great. There's the scene where I'm not gonna articulate this the right way. There's this great scene where Oppenheimer's explaining to his fellow scientists that what they're doing, they're questioning, should we be doing this? Is this something we should do? Oppenheimer kind of said, they will, in my retarded terms, he says, they will never trust science until they see what it can really do. This is kind of when the nerds really do start to inherit the earth, because up until this point, they don't get the respect they deserve, especially physicists. They were quacks, A lot of these guys were revered as quacks, But what did they do? They created the deadliest weapon in the universe, and it still exists, and that's scary. And that's the eternal battle that they're all fighting with, and you feel that in the movie. You feel the moral dilemma that they're all feeling within themselves as they're creating this bomb. We're doing something incredible, but incredibly awful at the same time. That's why the story is just fascinating. I loved it, and like I said, because I'm a history nerd, so all in all, guys, I don't want to keep this kind of brief, and I know I'm not the most articulate of reviewers here, but overall, like I said, great movie. Go and see it if you haven't. I'm sure you have. If you haven't, why are you watching my video? Go watch that movie now. If you're a history nerd, a movie nerd, either or, you'll love it, I believe. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. If you go and see it, if you saw this review and it led you to go watch it, let me know what you thought. I'm V.H.S. This is V.H.S. Picks Flicks. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm the puppet movie reviewer, critic, still less of a puppet than some critics. Click that like, subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.